Hello everybody and welcome to Jeff the Pharmacist. So my PR rep has told me to talk more about myself. So today I want to talk about my favorite drug, and that is Sudafed. So Sudafed is my favorite drug for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it's really one of the few over-the-counter drugs that actually does something for cough and cold. So cough and cold drugs are not super effective in general. Robitussin DM, any of the associated products like Dayquil, NyQuil, those kind of drugs are not super effective. I've made a video about it in the past, but those drugs aren't really super effective. Really, the drug that does a great job and what it's supposed to do is pseudoephedrine or Sudafed. So pseudoephedrine is in popular products like Mucinex D. The D means decongestant, that means Sudafed. In Claritin D, in Aleve D, Allegra D. The D in that is decongestant, and that is pseudoephedrine. So if you wanted to shop like a pharmacist and really conserve your money, if you want Mucinex D, just buy generic Mucinex or guaifenesin and buy Sudafed. That's the best way to do it. If you buy Mucinex D, it's like $30 for, it's almost like $1 a pill, which is insane. There are some packages of pseudoephedrine that are $1 for 24 of them. So it's incredibly efficient as far as using your money wisely to shop like a pharmacist and buy pseudoephedrine, the generic pseudoephedrine. If you want Mucinex, get guaifenesin, the generic guaifenesin. It's usually cheaper in a like in a liquid format. A lot of times the generic guaifenesin's pretty expensive. So Mucinex just means guaifenesin. It thins out mucus in your chest, and it helps you cough up the mucus in your chest. It's not super effective. Really, I don't really think it works very well at all. I don't even bother with it. But Sudafed's really good at what it's supposed to do, and that is stuffiness. So when you're just really congested, you blow your nose and it sounds like a whistle and you just want to get the crap out of there, you use Sudafed. The way Sudafed works is it's a alpha adrenergic receptor that constricts blood vessels in your sinuses, kind of shrinking those swollen mucous membranes and allowing the goop and stuff to kind of flow out and relieve some of the pressure in there, and so kind of returns back to normal. And it's really great for helping with cough associated with post-nasal drip. So really the kind of the solution for that, if you're somebody who can take it, is Sudafed. Now there's some caveats to Sudafed. There are side effects. It's a powerful drug. It also affects your heart rate. It affects your contractility. It affects your whole nervous system. Really, I mean, the biggest issues with it is sometimes it can make people feel hyper, and it crosses the blood-brain barrier. So some people have central nervous system effects. One of the official, I'll just read. I have my handy DI handbook. So one of the central nervous system side effects: chills, confusion, coordination, impaired dizziness, drowsiness, excitability, fatigue, hallucination, headache, insomnia, nervousness, restlessness, seizure. Really for most people, it makes people just kind of feel a little bit jacked up, a little hyper. I've known people that actually take it for that reason. I've actually seen a few people over the years who seem to be even like a little dependent on it, or just seem to be taking it for other reasons besides congestion. And I could see that. It does kind of give people a little, like a bump or whatever. It makes them a little hyper. Some people might feel less tired using it, which is really a good thing if you have a cold and you're you're still having to function throughout the day, and then you take Sudafed and you feel a little bit more alert. Think of the drug Dayquil. So Dayquil has Sudafed's little sister, that's phenylephrine. Phenylephrine is just like Sudafed. It can make you hyper. It can. That's probably why they put it in Dayquil. I don't think it doesn't really help with congestion that much. Not as much as Sudafed. The downside to Sudafed is that it's usually sold behind the counter. It was actually a character in Breaking Bad. If you remember, people were going into pharmacies buying Sudafed and taking that and using it to make methamphetamine. So there's actually a whole process to buy it. Like, you have to go to the pharmacy, ask for it, and give them your ID, and they'll often make you write in a book or scan the ID. And really what that's doing is just keeping track and making sure that you're not trying to buy large quantities to cook up methamphetamine in your sleeper camper. Besides that slight negative, the manufacturer of methamphetamine and contribution to the drug problem, it is a great drug for congestion, and usually it is what, I mean, it's cheap, it's a great drug for congestion. If you are somebody who likes to take Mucinex D or Allegra D or what have you, a lot of times people are just benefiting from the Sudafed more than the Mucinex or the Allegra. So as a pharmacist, I would probably say take 2 pills, take generic Allegra, fexofenadine, and then take Sudafed, the little red pills. They last about 4 to 6 hours. If you're somebody who only likes to take a long-acting pill, then they have 12-hour and even 24-hour or Sudafed versions. Be careful with some of those. If you take them too late in the day, they can keep you up at night, make you hyper and excitable and whatnot, which is a downside. If you're on psych meds, or if you take a lot of medication, or if you have other diseases, you should talk to a pharmacist about that before you take Sudafed, because it has some side effects and things, and also drug interactions. A big one is the monoamine oxidase inhibitors. Those are drugs that were used in the past for depression. They're still used, but they're less popular now. But people still do use them, and there's this very serious interaction that occurs with monoamine oxidase inhibitors. Now Sudafed's big brother is Broncaid. Broncaid's a drug used for asthma. I wonder how many people really use Broncaid for asthma, because it's got ephedrine in it. I feel like a lot of people probably use that just because they like that it gives them like a hyper feeling or something. That's just an intuition that I have. I just feel like that's why people use it. I don't have any proof of that, but I don't know. If you have asthma, usually you should have an albuterol inhaler if you're having an asthma attack. Not something that like makes your heart rate go up, makes you feel hyper and whatnot. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So Sudafed is really a great job if you have a cold. I had a cold. I was using Sudafed to help with the postnasal drip and the cough. It really is one of the only effective drugs for cough and cold. You get it from behind the counter, the little red pills. It's called Pseudoephedrine, the brand name Sudafed, but you can always get the generic. And if you want, there are 12 hours and 24-hour versions. If you're somebody who likes Mucinex D, Allegra D, consider switching to just Mucinex, generic Mucinex, and Sudafed separately to help you save money. So I hope you guys found this useful and interesting. My goal with this channel is to help you guys in your life in some way, help you in your health and in your understanding of drugs. I've had a passion for drugs since I was a young kid, an academic passion, not a recreational one. And I hope you all enjoy this video. You do me a great honor by watching. It's really amazing to have views and an audience and everything else. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thanks a lot.